Hello and welcome to this Minecraft tutorial with me, Groover. Now today I'm going to show you how to build this. This is what I'm calling the Shulker Sandwich, and essentially this is a shulker farm which will produce 1700 shells per hour, which is essentially one full chest of shells per hour. Now I don't know what you're going to do with a whole chest of shells per hour, but that's not up to me, that's up to you. You can choose what to do. I've literally just ran this for 1 hour. Using my special mechanism of timing. This is my timer. It makes sure that I do AFK for exactly 1 hour. 12 items in there. Each item gets dropped on there, sent by game mode to normal, and then creative, etc. back and forth for 1 hour. Okay, so the item despawns after 5 minutes. That's just a little thing, just to show that I'm doing my timings right. And this is the product after 1 hour. So this is double chest. I mean, that's literally one single chest full. So yeah, pretty simple stuff. Let's get straight into a tutorial. Right, we're going to build this thing directly in the end, so you need to speak to your server owner and just make sure that they're not going to reset the end too often, or you know, if you do, that you can go and collect your things or whatever. But be aware that if the end gets reset, it will delete this farm and you may be unhappy about it. Now I've actually got two really good examples here of what I want to use and what I'm looking for in an area. Now what I'm looking for is this section here. I don't want anything too big, anything too messy, because it means that you're going to have to remove quite a lot of stuff to make sure this thing's absolutely safe. But this is perfect. So the thing that you're looking for inside this short section, you can go for a long section, but you're going to have a lot of wasted time getting rid of things. So if you can find a little city with a short section, you're going to have 4 shulkers in there. Now we need to secure those shulkers, and this is actually going to be, it's going to be a difficult part for you guys. So I'm just going to show you the method real quick. Now this was a method that was suggested to me by Super Llama. Really cool method, really cool method. You're going to get this done pretty quickly. So first things first, you're going to want to place a chest underneath a couple of them like that. Then that's going to stop them from being able to see. You can place a couple of blocks at either side so they can't see too much to the sides either. If you can, I would suggest blocking off from underneath as best you can on all of them. Okay, so you don't have to use the chests on the side, but for now that's what I've got in my inventory, so that's what I'm using. Now this is the difficult bit. You're going to want to place a piston facing up right there, like that. Okay, and these guys are going to be shooting at you. It's not going to be easy, but then once you've done that, you can just power that piston and get rid of it. Okay, that guy cannot see me anymore. And I'm going to do the same over on these ones, just to show you the method, and I'll switch to game mode 0 to prove that it all works. I can get rid of that. Right, and there we go. I've pushed a chest into each one of the hitboxes, and as you can see, they don't care about me anymore. So we can carry on and do exactly what we want around the place. Once you've got a chest in the hitbox, you're fine. So one thing to bear in mind when you're working with these guys, try not to let them teleport. So don't wear thorns on your gear, don't go punching them if you're frustrated. You kind of want them where they are. Luckily this guy teleported to a place which I'm okay with, so I'm going to leave it there as it is. You can actually see that I can feel the hitbox of the chest underneath there. What we're going to do now is we're going to remove everything all the way up to this level. So we want to take away everything above this bottom shulker, or this top shulker I should say. Right, now you should have something that looks like this, and that's why I say pick a small tower, because it's going to be easier to deal with everything and you don't have to worry too much about things. Right, next we're going to go across like this with slabs. Make sure that you only have single slabs, never double slabs. Then we're going to find our middle line, which aligns with this, and we're just going to place a little marker here. So it doesn't matter too much what it is, it's going to get removed. So from here we're going to count out 18 blocks in that direction, and we're going to lay out a line of slabs in each direction. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in this direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, so this is what you should now have Okay, now directly on top of that we are going to place redstone, and again we're going to place a marker on top of that middle block because we're going to build everything from the middle. So this is very simple. We're just going to place out redstone like this and this, and this has to be the redstone block. You can try it with other things like levers and stuff, but I wouldn't. Now before we finish, we're going to place a block on the end of that. Okay, so this is to make sure that if any shulkers do get out here, they've got nowhere to teleport to on there. Now at this level we're going to build out a platform, and the platform is essentially going to be 18 in that direction. But when we get to 16, we're going to lay out another line of redstone. This one's going to be a bit more complicated. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay, that is 16 long. On the 17th block you're going to put redstone, and then one more of those like that. Now this is the difficult bit. You need to get another layer of slabs down here. Personally, I would use a water bucket. If you place a water bucket, you'll be able to drop down just below, float long enough to get that slab in place. And we're going to build that out to the same level as that one. And then we're basically going to do exactly the same thing. Okay, so you get the picture? Right, so this is what you should now have. Now we're going to go ahead and do exactly the same on the other side. So you're going to count out 16 in this direction, then we're going to do redstone, and then we're going to do one more. So what I mean there is the entire length is 18, okay? And then we're going to do the same again in this direction. So that's what you should now have. Now the redstone, I'm just going to repeat this just in case. The redstone from here to the end is 18, and then you've got one extra slab, and then the same in that direction. The slabs to the redstone is 16, then you've got a redstone, and then you've got another slab. Okay, so that's going to make that up to 18 in this direction and 18 in that direction. Now you want to go ahead and fill up the whole square with top slabs. Okay, so just to be clear, we're going to fill in the insides, these 4 quarters, with slabs. Now if you want, you can use glass instead of slabs. That is entirely up to you. I'm using slabs because they're cheap. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill in all of this with the upper slabs. Do not leave any double slabs. It is a bad idea. You'll regret it. Right, so this is what you should now have. You've got this great big platform. It's sitting right on top of the tower. Don't worry about that, we'll sort that out later. But what we're going to now do is, you need to find the center line, which is here, and we're going to go out in this direction, so parallel, well not parallel, perpendicular is the right word, to the redstone. And we're going to place out 10 blocks in this direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then it doesn't matter which side you go with this. I'm just going to go this side because it doesn't matter at all. And this is where the unloader is going to go. So the unloader goes on that side. Right, so next is we're going to place in the collection system. So this one, once we've done this, we don't have to worry about it. We're going to come out an extra block in this direction. And I'm just going to place in a couple of temporary blocks so that I can put in my hoppers coming out in that direction. Now from there, I'm just going to place a couple of chests in there. That's going to be where things are going to collect and gather. Next up is we're going to get a couple of slabs and then a couple of solid blocks like that. Okay, so that's the formation that you're looking for. We're going to go 1 and 2, and then we're going to get a hopper minecart and just put it onto there. Okay, that's going to put it into place exactly where we want it, and then we're going to do the same there with a hopper minecart. Doop 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 doop. Done. Right, now that we've done with that, I'm going to place in a rail there. And then I'm going to put in a detector rail there. We're going to come up behind here and we're going to place a solid block right there. Okay, and then we're going to get any old rail and place it there and then break it. Then it goes a honey block and then it goes solid block. So you want solid block, doesn't matter what type, honey block, solid block. And you've got a detector rail there and a normal rail there. Now, because of the way this is going to be, it's probably going to have to be done a couple of times, and I'll just show you why. So I put an extra rail there just to be sure that it's not going to interfere. When I place down a rail right here, it's probably going to interfere. So you see, you're probably going to have to do it like this, okay? Like that, okay? So that's the end result that you want to get. And again, I'm just going to run this off in this direction a little bit. And you can see this isn't quite powering all the way. We can just replace those like that. That'll work. That's not a problem. And we'll do the same here. So we don't have to deal with any more redstoney stuff. There. I'm just going to leave those staggered so they don't try and connect with each other, and we'll finish this off. So I'm going to come underneath here with a slab. I'm going to get rid of the solid block because I don't need solid blocks anymore. And a slab right there. Then you're going to take your comparators, facing those out. And then we're going to face those straight into your sticky pistons. So when I say straight into your sticky pistons, I mean like that. So it's hard powering sticky pistons. On top of that, you're going to place your redstone block like so. And then there, you're going to place your slabs again with repeaters on. Okay, so this is quite simple. When something arrives on the detector rail, it's going to get picked up by the comparator, which is going to power this, and then it's going to power back through. Now, next, I'm going to place a couple of sticky pistons and a couple of obsidian, and then I need torches on the front of that. So the torches go boom boom, and then finally the fence gate. The fence gates just go straight onto there like that. Okay. So I'm going to open those up to give them benefit of the doubt, so that when things arrive, when the hopper minecart arrives when it's full, it's going to get sorted out by this. I'll just show it. It's easier to show you what's going on here. So if I put down a hopper minecart on that one, and we place some items in one but not the other, give them both a nudge off, one of them gets held back for review and the other one just goes on its way. So now that we've got that, we're going to finish off laying out the rails. Now, the way that the redstone's been laid out, it means that this should just connect up like that, without a gap in power. And then you just carry on like this. Now, because this is on the right-hand side, we're then going to use a normal rail there, and loop it around, and just go back and forth, back and forth. This is you for the next little while. And then you can do that, and then carry on forward. And just keep on going till you've looped all of this area. And you need to do the same on the other side there as well, so it's kind of working away from each other. What I'll do is I'll just lay out this one. So what we essentially have is two lines which are going to go to two unloaders next to each other. Be careful of your Enderman. And then back. And then just keep going. So one thing that you're probably going to be wondering is what to do when you get to the end here. So you'll have like your line just running straight along like this. Just place down a solid block and place lower slabs on it everywhere. Now we're actually going to go down here and place in like that. And this makes sure that the shulkers cannot teleport onto that top surface or that bottom surface. So you're going to have to go around and do that with all of these as well. So it's just going to make sure that they cannot land on there. Cannot, shall not, will not. Right, once you've got that done, you need to re-find your centre. Now, if you're clever, unlike me, you'll have marked it, but it's not too difficult to re-find the centre because we aligned it to the middle of the tower. So as you can see there, all I need to do is make sure that I'm in line with that. And then we're going to place a glass block right on top of there. This is going to be the centre of the farm, and this is going to be where you AFK. So next up is we need to go around and place out a circle of 16 diameter of solid blocks. Now I'm going to use netherite because it's easy to count. You can use whatever solid blocks you like. Now this is quite easy to place. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16. And what I'll do is I'll mark out a whole cross. Okay, so that should be what you now have. Like I say, I've used netherite because it's very easy to count. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill in the circle, then I'm going to come back up here and you can have a look at that circle and do the counting and figure out the exact shape and just give you a clear screenshot of it, okay? There we go, that is what it should now look like. Now you can count out from the centre line, this is the centre line, and it's kind of like 4 beyond the centre line, then 3, then 1, then 2, then 1, then it's in reverse basically. So have a good look at that, make sure that you're building it up like that. Now pause if you need to. But next, we're going to place down our magma blocks. Our magma blocks kind of need to do like a snake around the outside, like this. So what I mean by a snake is it kind of goes all the way around, not like bip, 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 and it's got gaps, okay? So carry on and put magma all the way around the outside there. And whilst you're at it, let's add the slabs in. So we're going to put in upper slabs right here. Okay, just outside the magma. And I tell you what, whilst we're at it doing that, we might as well put in a 2 tall thing like that there. Okay, so this is stained glass, and this is so you can see in the edges. No other reason for it at all. And on top of that, we're going to place another slab. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill all of that in with the magma, the slabs, and the stained glass. It doesn't have to be stained glass, it can be any type of glass that you so wish. It doesn't even need to be glass. I just like to be able to see into this thing from the outside. Okay, something I can say about the slabs is they do not need to snake around like this. They can just be like this, just outside, like that. Whoops. Right, that is what you should now have. Very, very simple. You need the upper slabs there and the lower slabs there, and the glass in between. It doesn't have to be glass, like I say. I just like the glass. Now, next up is we are going to fill in everything in between. So you've got this basically 2 high gap, okay? So we're going to fill in this entire roof area with slabs, and then directly underneath that we're going to fill in with trapdoors. So we're going to fill in everything underneath that, leave a hole right there over the middle. Now I'm just going to show you a little pattern that needs to be made around the centre here, okay? So what I'm laying out, we'll ignore that, we'll fill the rest in a moment. This little area, this shape here, is where you do not place trapdoors. Okay, so I'll show you like this. You place trapdoors on all of these, everything else, but you do not place it on this little formation here, which is essentially a little 3x3 around you with a little protrusion out in each direction. Okay, so go ahead and fill all of that in, and we'll be back in a moment to show you exactly what it should look like. That is what you should now have. All of this is now filled with trapdoors. Sorry, that was very expensive, but it's the only thing that I'll trust. And then you've got slabs covering the entire roof. So from the outside, you've got something that looks a little bit like this now. Anyway, next is we're going to place in the AFK spot. Okay, we're going to need one more trapdoor, and we're going to place that like right above us. So you see that? It's kind of in the same space that we are. Okay, and then directly above this trapdoor, we're going to place a bucket of water. You're probably going to need to do something like that to make sure it doesn't waterlog the slab, but you can kind of see what's going on there. Okay, and then you can close that for a few minutes. Next up is we're going to go to the cardinal directions. We're going to place glass right there in those specific spots, and then we're going to place soul sand all the way around that. Next, we're going to place the water in these 4 locations, and that is it basically. The farm is more or less done now. We've just got 1 or 2 more things to do. This is your little safe AFK spot. We're going to jump on out. Now this is the really, really important bit, guys. Okay, so we're going to get back inside the tower over here. You don't need to worry about your shulkers, they're safe, they're not going to fire on you. But you want to remove all of the blocks around them, everything. So it just ends up like this. You've got 1 block that they're sat on, the shulker themselves, and the chest. Okay, and you need to do that for all of them. And then we're going to clear this entire area down to this level. So that's approximately what you should have now. You just got these shulkers kind of floating on blocks up here. Now, we're going to be very careful at this stage. We want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blocks below that point. And we need to clear everything down to the 10th block below. So we're going to clear everything down to here in this instance. And we're going to leave those shulkers as they are. So, yeah. Making sure that you clear down to the 10th block below is kind of important. You can skim it and do like 8, but I'm telling you what, I'm just going to do 10 because I want to be sure of this. Because if this works, this is the easiest way to move shulkers ever. Right, there we go. That is the 10th block below cleared. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to break that block behind the shulker, okay? Vanish the shulker. Then we're going to do the same with this one. Gone. You see, now that one teleported here. That's fine. We're going to break that. It couldn't decide what to do, but it worked it out in the end. Now we've got this final one. Done. Now we can clear up those chests. Very, very vital part of that. Because now, if we've done it all right, we should have 4 shulkers in our farm. You can see all 4 of them in there. That is the initial population sorted. Now to get this thing up to full pace, what you're going to have to do is jump in the farm for like half an hour to an hour. This is just to get it started up properly. So I'm going to go game mode 0 here. And then we're going to jump in. And we need to watch. So you can see the bullets coming out. What I'm looking for is bullets hitting other ones. Now it looks like they're all in a bit of a bad position. So normally the bullets will go across and then they'll come straight in. But that one got a hit. Okay. So this is one which is in a good location to get hit again and again maybe. And give us our production level. So that one got hit. That reproduced. So we've now got extras. Now got 5, 6. Okay. We're moving. So we're kind of relying on these ones to self-populate. If you're having troubles getting them to self-populate, like they're not lined up, then sometimes just waiting long enough will get you going. But mostly what you can do is you can kind of say, right, there's a lot of bullets coming out. I'm going to open my thing and I'm going to run over here where all of the shulkers are. All of the bullets will actually track you in this direction, even though there's blocks in between and all sorts. And that might drag the bullets over to that area where there's most of your shulkers and help them to reproduce. But looking at, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we've got this one behind us who, you know, isn't really going to do much for now. It's these ones that I'm interested in, and this one. So this one's been hit a few times. This might take some time, but once it's populated, you're going to be fine. Right, I went away, made a cup of tea, you know, chatted for a bit, did all of the things. And yeah, this is it, up and running by the looks of it. It's at full strength now. Let's just come out here. Still in survival mode, so I'm going to go over here and have a quick look at how our drops are doing. Yeah, not too bad. That's just during the build-up phase, really, so it's not even a full set of drops. And we'll see how much we get from these as well. Because these minecarts are going to come back. Okay, I'm going to see what we get back from the minecarts. Let's have a look. Right, and there we go. The minecarts came back, and I'd say that's like 8.5 stacks for the build-up phase, which is not even the full power phase. The full power phase is basically probably for 1 hour from here on. And you should be looking at around about a chest full of shulker shells for that. Anyway guys, I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please do leave a like. And if you want to see some more, drop me a subscribe. And I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.